and welcome to the last film of May. It's Tracy Harwood's choice, and you are listening to, and now for something completely machinima podcast and YouTube video. I am Ricky Grove, your host today, along with my pal Damien Valentine and Phil Rice. Hello, guys.
Hey there.
Tracy is not here today. She was unable to attend the session. We record all of the sessions at one time. She was at the Oberhausen Film Festival, and had a program that was dedicated to machinima, and she was going to talk there. So we're looking forward to her report on that experience and what's going on. I'm sure she'll have a lot of interesting comments to make. We've reviewed a couple of interesting films. The first one, After War short film, was made in Half-Life. The second one, Phil's pick, Sandstorm, was a Star Citizen machinima by Waylander, was made in Star Citizen. The last film was Damien's pick, called Torn Seas. It was a feature film made in Unreal Engine. And then the last one, Tracy's pick, it's an animated short film using the Unreal Engine Genesis by E.D. Recendez. Now, I didn't choose this. I just put the order together. I didn't put the two Unreal films together for any particular reason, but I find that it's fascinating that we have a full-length feature film shot in Unreal and this short film shot in Unreal as well. It'll be interesting to talk about the different experiences between the two. Tracy, I wish Tracy was here to tell you. She usually goes into great detail about it. I hope to give at least good information. I like this film. I like the musical soundtrack, although it was heavy-handed at times. Silence would have helped the atmosphere. It's essentially a sort of pulp story of a guy exploring a planet in which these creepy creatures show up and he has to fight them. And he's trying to find the source of a energy source. It did remind me of old-time science fiction back in the day of Edmund Hamilton, what they call Golden Age comics. It has a marvelous twist ending, which I won't reveal to you. It's smartly directed with a nice, unique plot. It doesn't have any of the problems that I saw with Torn Seas. It was just the right length. It's also what I would call a personal machinima film, as opposed to a sort of calling card for Hollywood, mainstream film with Torn Seas. Now, I don't disparage the effort and skill level of the director of Torn Seas, Richard Bosford, because it's quite high, and we made that point. But there's just something about this kind of film appeals to me more. It seemed more like real machinima to me, even though it was made in an Unreal Engine. It was engaging. I've always loved pulp sci-fi, and I watch it very, very much so. It had no sentimentality in it. It was a terrifically enjoyable film, and it was a great relief because I watched it right after the long film. I suppose the contrast between the two made this film maybe a little better than it actually is to me, but we'll see with you guys' comments. So what did you think? Damien, what's your take on this film?
Initially my first thought was it's got that explorer in space, and he lands on this alien planet, and there's a cave with a monster in it, and we've seen a couple of films like that before on our show, and so it's a little bit, is this a repeat of that idea again? And it is to a certain extent, but it was really well done. And I'm not going to reveal the twist at the end, but when you get to that twist, it makes it very different from those other films that we've seen.
It does.
Similar monster in a cave theme. And so I went back and watched it again, and I got a lot more out of it the second time because of that. I feel like I've seen this before vibe that I was getting. But yeah, you need that once you got that twist, it makes it all so much better. Obviously, a lot of work was put into this. There's a scene near the beginning where it's before he sets out on his journey, and he's on Earth. I assume it's Earth, and you've got this sort of city, and there's some excellent sound effects to make the city feel alive, because you don't really get to see much of it. It's just very kind of dark and dingy street, and there's detail in that. It's just one shot that you never see that location again. It's just there for about 5 seconds, and the amount of detail you put into that, is the kind of detail you get throughout the whole film. It's like you didn't have to put so much thought into a 5 second shot. Pete did it anyway, and it really adds something
Yeah.
to it, because there's places like the cave, which he spends a lot of time in the film. Of course, you're going to spend a lot of time making that look good, because you're going to spend a significant portion of the time of the film there. But even something where 5 seconds, he still put that effort in, and that shows, it says a lot about the director, that the detail is important to him.
Yeah.
And it shows throughout the entire film. I thought the animation was really good, and the acting was good as well. And it obviously is much shorter than Torn Seas, but it didn't need to be any longer than it is. It's a short, tight story, and it works really well.
Yeah.
So I think Tracy chose a good film.
Yeah.
This month.
The design of the creature I thought was interesting. My partner and I, Lisa, watched a box set of Sinbad, the last 3 Sinbad movies, with Harryhausen design.
Wow.
And they were absolutely delightful. Delightful. I urge you, everybody, I think Shout put them out on Blu-ray. But the creature design in it was fantastic. And this creature actually reminded me a bit of the Harryhausen design. Very strange, sort of oddly reptilian, but humanoid. I found it quite, and the animation for it was good. And the fact that they were silent, other than that their movements and their a little sound coming from them. There was no language or anything like that. You saw them as beasts, which brings, when the twist comes, adds even more impact to it. Phil, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I right away got I don't know what the right term is, and you mentioned it earlier, but that old school sci-fi
pulp.
Yeah, pulp story. That's right. Very much has that feel. And Damien, you've seen this not just in other machinima movies, but this concept has been done many times. I mean, it's in a sense, it's a centerpiece scene in the original Alien movie.
Right, yeah.
You're not only in this foreign place, but now you're going to go to an even deeper, darker, more unknown part of it. Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah. It's an archetypal story, and it's for good reason. It's for good reason, because it's something that we constantly think about, I think, when we think about visiting other worlds or even visiting strange parts of the globe we've never been to. So yeah, the story doesn't die. It doesn't go away, because it is still intriguing.
Yeah.
And has been, I think, for centuries. The notion of that, just we've changed the skin on it, the paint job on it, because of our new technology and stuff, but that story is still there. And I love that. There's some wonderful sound moments in this for sure. And Damien, you pointed out a really notable one. The other one, I'm just going to call the transformation, but not go any deeper into that. But there's some sound going on during that kind of pivotal scene that's just delicious. Really good. Like, just really good sound going on there.
Yeah.
But there's other parts where Foley is notably lacking. And I'm talking about movement in that spacesuit, and to a lesser degree, footsteps. Have you ever been in a cave, like a real cave? It has a noise. It has a sound. And there wasn't really much ambient sound to this cave, and I feel like it should have had that. Maybe a little bit less score and a little bit more soundscape.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think would have been effective. The score was very decent. But yeah, I would have loved, I think it would have been even more creepy.
I agree.
To step into that cave and no music telling you how to feel, just the sounds of this cave.
Mm-hmm. Wind actually, in caves do.
Oh yeah, things. And dripping and oh yeah, and
sort of
crackling
an
and
as well.
yeah, wonderful stuff. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I hate to keep bringing up Star Wars. I'm like, what a nerd.
It's
Sorry,
it's
Damien.
Star Wars, great.
Star Wars,
great.
But but if I'm not mistaken, one of the times when there is little to no score in the super score heavy Star Wars trilogy is in the Empire Strikes Back, when Luke first gets out on Dagobah, the swamp planet. Whoever made that movie was smart enough to know, let's hear what this place sounds like, because there's lots of sounds, and in even an earthly swamp, it's amazing. Go down to the middle of Louisiana and go into one of those swamps, and it'll freak you out. It's awesome.
Yeah.
There's so much going on there. And, a cave less so, but still, missed opportunity there. That would have been fun. But I love the feel of the story overall. I think that the dialogue that was there, or I guess monologue, him speaking, was employed just right. Not too much. No lengthy exposition. Just, I think at points wasn't he kind of talking to himself?
Yeah.
At one point he was talking to the creature who doesn't speak.
Right.
But it wasn't constantly, oh, I'm thinking this now. Oh, now I'm going to go do this.
Yeah,
and that's good. He left gaps
in the
in
previous film.
Right.
We're talking about.
So this was a great balance on that. The rap/dance ending. I think we need to talk about that.
I liked it. I thought it was good. What's your problem with it, you old fart? Go ahead.
To me, it's like if you put a rap/dance ending on the end of one of Rod Serling's Twilight Zone episodes. There's just no making it work. But look, let's look at what it was for what it was. I am going to choose to interpret it as this was the touchdown dance for this film. The guy's just finished making a great short film. And he's happy.
He's celebrating, yes.
He's celebrating. He's going to spike the effing football.
That's a good way to see it.
And you know what? Nobody can take that away from him. It's have some fun with it.
But thematically, you're right. A twist ending that leaves you with a certain feeling.
Yeah.
The ending, credit ending, would have been nice to have it with that feeling.
Yeah.
As opposed
Make
to
a separate video with the rap/dance thing. that would have been my advice. But and in all seriousness, though, because nobody likes a filmmaker who takes themselves or their work too seriously, right? But this film was so good as a serious piece, so effective in creating a certain mood, and then like we've both all referenced, and I think done pretty good without spoiling, when the twist happens, it's like, oh. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I didn't see it coming.
I didn't
at
either.
all.
No.
Nah.
That's not easy to do. We are jaded folks. We've seen a lot of stuff. It's hard to surprise us. It's hard to give us that, the end of the Sixth Sense movie kind of, whoa, what?
Yep.
So this guy did that in this short film, and that's great. So anyway, no, I kid. I mean, hey, the rap dance thing, it's harmless. But it kind of made me realize this must be how my son feels when I tell a dad joke. Right? He still loves me, but he doesn't want to be seen with me. And that's kind of how this made me feel, the dance rap ending. So, yeah. I loved this film. Great film. Nice title.
Yeah.
Very apt title. Yeah, it's good.
Damien, what was your take on the rap ending in the credits?
So I watched it. Got to the twist ending, which I'm still not going to talk about, and the credits started. I reached down to get a drink, and suddenly music started playing, and I wasn't paying attention to the credits. I intended to watch the credits, but I thought I need a drink, so I reached, and then it was like this, and it started. And I thought
you thought it went to the next video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I looked back and I could see it was the same animation style. So I went reversed back just a little bit to see, and yeah, I was a little bit surprised by that. It's an unusual choice for credits.
That's tactful.
But I don't know if he's having fun with it. Why not?
Why not make an entire machinima in that rap style? I think he should do that.
Yeah,
I think it would be energetic. Well, I'm glad you guys liked it. I was really happy with it, and I think Tracy would have gone on at length about why it's so good and given us more detail. We're just three dumb dudes who are stooges to Tracy's magnificent brain. But we miss you, Tracy.
Yeah, that being said, let's just get it. Let's just a couple things I want to clarify. First of all, the twist that we're talking about is not the rap dance ending.
No.
That's a twist, but that's not the one we were talking about.
That's not the one. It comes earlier.
And secondly, Tracy is the one who picked a movie with the rap dance ending. So,
Tracy,
we might need to talk to you about this next time.
we need to
Tracy.
talk next time. I'm putting that down in the notes. Tracy and the rap dance ending. All right, that's going to be on the agenda for next for June.
Yeah. I want to hear the academic explanation for that.
Yeah. That's a good one. Maybe we're not so dumb after all, us guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind that my every pick has a fart joke in it. It's not rap dance.
By the way, June, which is our next month, is going to be a very exciting month because on June 6th, you guys know what's going to happen?
No.
Diablo 4.
Oh.
Ah.
So you're going to be absent that week, are you?
No, I'll be there, but I'll be thinking Diablo. They expect, or they hope, and many critics have commented on this, that in 2 weeks, they believe Blizzard will sell 12 million copies of the game in 2 weeks.
Wow.
There's such interest. Now, the problem that they've come up with is that during the beta, they've had 2 beta sessions. And the problem in the first beta session was server related. People were getting kicked off. There was delays. They made massive improvement on the second one. But there are commenters who are saying the surge of interest and the amount of people hitting those servers on the day it's released is going to be far more than anything they've dealt with in the beta. So they're predicting if they solve that server problem, it's going to be a magnificent opening because the game is apparently just superb. With a few bugs here and there, but fairly superb. If they don't, it's going to be a disaster for them. So
what
we're saying is it's going to be released on June 6th.
Right.
And so you should plan on enjoying it around June 24th.
24th. No, actually June of the next year. 2024.
True. 12 million people is a long queue.
Yeah.
So I have a theory about the way that they handle these servers, because it seems to happen far too often that it's not just a coincidence. Is a game launches and at some point there's a meeting with the executives and the investors, and they say, well, we've got 500,000 people, 2 million people, whatever number they say is not as impressive to those investors as saying our game is so popular that it crashed the servers. Because we did not anticipate this much demand.
Well, that's PR, but if you've got disgruntled,
it'll blow up in your face too.
It's going to blow up in your face. And they're going to people who say, I'm not going to play this game. I'm going to tell everybody else not to play this game. And that
I kind of
million,
hope that's not their strategy. Yeah, because I think today's gamers are a little too smart for that.
Well, I don't see how it's even possible that they could have server related problems, because Blizzard is one of the richest game companies in the world. They've got more money than Santa Claus to put into servers, you know? If you're worried about that, add 20 more servers, add 200 more servers to the thing to get it right. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I'm also really happy. I'm on my 6th round of playing a new custom character for Elden Ring. Elden Ring came out in March of last year. I'm still enjoying it. It's my favorite game ever.
Oh,
It's
that's great.
fantastic. And I hope to do some machinima in it once I get to the point where I've stopped my obsessive playing of it. Now I'm having more fun playing it than imagining what I could do. But I'm so familiar with the game now that you can put a scene on and can tell you immediately where it is and what's going on there. I know it so well. And
So
I've
it
done,
has
and
good replay value then.
it does,
That's
massive.
great.
And it's mostly the a build, the type of build, because you have various different ways of playing the game. And I have never played a game that had so many brilliant YouTube creators. I watched a guide yesterday in which the guy used machinima tools to be able to show you where something is to get it. Like in almost all the others, they'll show you the map and then they'll create a little graphic of go here, go here, go there. This guy uses an actual machinima, which you can get from a person who's created a modification for it. And he takes you from the start and then he goes through slowly real time, where you need to go to get this thing. And
So some kind of a free camera to
Yes,
just move
exactly.
around the world. Wow.
Right. A free camera. And it's so much more interesting because I tell you, when you try to do the map thing, you make one small turn and you're in some place that you're like, there are 20,000 enemies all trying to kill you. And you said, dude, just coming to get this thing. You know, and you end up getting crushed.
Yeah.
But I just love the creativity of the YouTube creators. There's one guy that I deeply admire. His name is Thingfishy. Thingfishy. And he does these builds and he has such a great production value in his editing and the way he sets everything up. And he has a beautifully resonant voice and a wry sense of humor. So it's especially good for players like me who've played it many times, because you get to a spot and he'll make a wry reference to something that if you don't play the game, you would miss. But if you do, you'd get it, you know? And there's also an animated 2D series, which is hilarious on the stuff. I'll put a link on that. I'm sorry, I should have written the name down. Carlot Productions or something like that. But they're very funny, very humorous. And so I'm happy to see all of the content creators and the guides. It's just a thrilling game.
That's great.
It's going to take a lot to put me in the middle of Diablo 4 to get away from Elden Ring, but I think I probably will, because I played every single Diablo to death. In fact, I actually went back this year and played Diablo 1.
Oh, wow.
With the fragments
Classic.
and the same, the same 12-string guitar playing over and over again. And the right wing turns of your character,
Right.
It was fun. It was fun. I liked it a lot. Well, anyway, now going off onto a little reverie, but thank you guys very much. And Tracy, that was a great pick for this thing. Genesis
Absolutely.
by Recendez, a great YouTube channel and an excellent filmmaker that used Unreal Engine. If you are Edie yourself, or you've seen the film, or you're listening to the comments and you disagree, or you agree, or you have some of your own comments, please contact us. We really like to hear from you at talk@completelymachinima.com, along with the show notes, in which we'll have links to relevant topics that we've discussed here at completelymachinima.com, our website. My thanks to you, Phil Rice and Damien Valentine, and to the missing Tracy. She'll be back next week. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay.